From the moment they arrived, the men and women of the Congregation of Holy Cross were plagued by all such things that the rest of us were plagued by: lack of funds, disease, bitter weather, threat of fire, and sometimes even intolerance. So when people from every village and town helped to rebuild the little college after the terrible fire of 1879, it said a lot about the bond between school and community. Yet only one man among them imagined that Notre Dame had an appointment with destiny. Only one knew for sure that the school would someday assume international stature. Not just a force for good in the country, but thanks to the leadership of successors whom he'd never meet, fellow priests like Hesburgh, Malloy, and now Jenkins, a force for good in the world, a top 20 university admired by peer institutions across the country, where academic excellence and religious faith would be intertwined forever. And young men, and yes, thanks to Hesburgh, women too, would graduate into the world as both thought leaders and thoughtful leaders. This is the Notre Dame that Soren envisioned, but it wouldn't be possible without a succession of leaders who believed in and worked toward the same vision, decade after decade. The ordinary priests who'd continue to do extraordinary things. The myth is that football came first, but it didn't. What it did do was endear Notre Dame to a nation that had never heard of the school or South Bend before. And while legions of families were immigrating to this community from all over the world to work at companies like Studebaker, Singer, Oliver, and Dodge Manufacturing, making this one of the most culturally diverse places to live in America's Midwest, Notre Dame was busy establishing the first Catholic law school in the nation, the first Catholic engineering school, and the first Catholic school of architecture. Just a hint of many more firsts to come. Among them, the decision by Father Burns, who had the vision in the 20s to shed Notre Dame of its lower schools and commit to becoming a university. Father Hesburgh, who moved the vision further by inserting Notre Dame into the fabric of national and international conversation of merit and concern at one of the most turbulent times in American history, moving the university to a lay board of trustees and inviting women to attend Notre Dame for the first time in more than 100 years. Reverend Monk Malloy, whose vision included transforming the relationship with this community by establishing the DeBartolo Center for Performing Arts at the edge of campus, funding the Robinson Community Learning Center, supporting the Center for the Homeless, and beginning the transformation of Angela Boulevard, which has led to Eddy Street Commons and the Northeast Neighborhood Revitalization Organization. And now, Father John I. Jenkins, who builds upon all that came before him, including the drive toward becoming a great research institution, a focus on innovation and the commercialization of the university's intellectual property, scholarship, research, creativity, the service nature of Notre Dame that makes it so unique, and the commitment to this, the home of the University of Notre Dame, in the form of a 10-year, multi-million-dollar gift to assist local governments in their day-to-day operations. In the beginning, Notre Dame was a tiny, fledgling school at the edge of two lakes. But through vision, leadership, and engagement, it's become one of the largest, most influential participants in this community, let alone the world. Yesterday, the university fought disease near a log cabin by the lake. Today, it's fought in laboratories. Intolerance is fought with peace programs. Poverty, hunger, and injustice through service, advocacy, research, and education. Today's university plays on a world stage, ever mindful of the Lady on the Dome, ever mindful of her role right here at home. The University of Notre Dame, a force for good and a good friend. So for such a friend, this Irish prayer. May God give you for every storm a rainbow, every tear a smile, every care a promise, and a blessing in every trial. For every problem life sends, a faithful friend to share. For every sigh, a sweet song, and an answer for every prayer. From those who came before us, and so many will never know, to a faithful friend forever. Shall the Lady on the Dome continue to guide you, and the grace of God go with you. Thank you. From every town and every village in this region, to the University of Notre Dame.